Uh, I guess I would have to back up Jordan. Um, you know, we're two very physical teams. Like we have a high passion of playing, and anytime like that you're in a competitive type of mind or in a competitive type of airplane, uh, a competitive type of environment, like almost like having like two brothers that fight. This is kind of like what it is. Like they're a great team. We're a great team, and bullets are gonna be flying. That's a great question. I would say that we're twins. Like we're born at the same time. Who knows?
Fraternal or identical?
Same time, identical. Just we have blue, they have red. I have blue eyes, they have red eyes.
Dion, what did you see from Spencer Brown making his first start this past week?
Great. Just a rookie that's just having fun, just trusting what his coaches are and teaching them, and just having a great time. I mean, like as you can see, Spencer is showing his personality, which I've told him to just go off of the chains. Just show your personality, bro. I mean, as long as you show it, they will love you, and that's exactly what's happening. So I love the kid. He's a great athlete, and he's going to be a great player.
What have you seen from him leading up to this game? I mean, expected to make just his second NFL start, and it's at Arrowhead Stadium.
Yeah.
Sunday Night Football could be intimidating for a rookie, but what have you seen from him and his approach leading up to the game?
Confidence, just confidence, just staying humble and hungry. Honestly, I would think that a kid that's having a second start would be nervous, but he's not showing that. He's showing consistency in his process, which is his routine, and he's just day in and day out just being Spencer.
Have any shorter teammates taken issue?
Shorter, like as in height?
Did you see the video of him
Oh yeah,
tripping over Desmond King?
yep, absolutely. Um, but what's your question?
Have any of your shorter teammates taken issue?
Oh no, 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 no. I mean, because the good thing is that he's on like our side, so and our teammates are on Spencer's side. So Spencer like doesn't like have to do like the little gesture to any of our like teammates. But I mean, Spencer's an intimidating guy. Like he's like 6'10", 6'8", 6'9", 6'30". I don't know. But huge kid, and obviously he lets his personality fly.
We appreciate that you guys sit down for these interviews for the short people out
Fire,
here.
fire. I bet you Spencer probably gets a nice laugh at it.
You were in Spencer's shoes 5 years ago.
Mhm.
Coming in as a rookie, high expectations. Like, you know, what do you tell him now with all the experience that you've gained?
Right.
As he's kind of dealing with his first couple games in the league.
I continually tell him that good things and bad things are going to happen throughout the football game. Like none of us are born to be perfect. Like things happen. Obviously, learn from my mistakes and just try to flush it as fast as you can. Because as a passionate player, like anything bad or anything wrong that you do on the field, it can eat you up. But the faster that you can learn to just let it go and move on to that next play, so that previous play that was bad doesn't affect your next play, which is a clean slate. Just that's where you'll have your growth, and just trust your coaching, honestly. But the biggest thing is just let the bad things go when they happen, and just try to just move on as fast as possible.
Dan, what are the challenges when different guys are coming in at the offensive line, moving around and stuff? What's the biggest challenge? Is it communication, making sure everyone's on the same page? Like, is there any hurdle that comes with that?
Yes, just the communication stuff, I would say, especially for like a tackle, where if you think about the grid, you have the center, the guards, and the tackles. For the interior guys, the communication comes heavy from everything that's coming in front of you. So all of the linebackers in this triangle, how you would see, and for the tackles, you have to look at all of the skinny guys on the outside, like the little quick corners and the nickels and the free safeties that might be like drop down. So for the communication that has to go back to our quarterback, which is Mitch, our center, just to relay all of those messages. And when you have a new guy in the huddle, like you might hear a different type of emotion that comes out with saying it. If it's like a hurry up play and he's saying like alert, or if we're used to saying like pressure pressure or eyes eyes, or just something that like we might just utter out that you might not be used to hearing because it's a new voice and a new face. But I would say that for a younger guy, that's what is the biggest thing. Is just the communication from him to the guy next to him to all the way down, so we all are on the same page.
Can you practice that? Is that something?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. And we practice that every day in practice. We overemphasizing communication with the smallest things that might be like 1 + 1 = 2, but tell us it's 2. Like don't think that just because it's 1 + 1 that every adult like should know it. So we just force that into every conversation, every play.
How much does that emotion that someone sets up with matter on top of the words themselves?
I mean, it depends. Like if somebody's screaming like, "Oh my God, it's 2," or like just something crazy, then like you might like jump like, all right, like but like something's coming, but you kind of just get in a situation and you look at the field and what situation like you're in, and if you hear like a higher emotion, like it could just and be him, or it's just because that play clock is close to 0 and the words just need to be said.
Yeah, and there was a play last week, 4th and 1 or 4th and 2. Josh kind of bounced a run outside and ended up picking the first down up pretty easily.
Yeah.
What kind of a boost does that give an offense when you're able
Confidence.
to convert in those 4th down situations?
Just confidence, and just knowing that it can be done in different ways, where it's not just the traditional, okay, like we're just gonna put this chess piece here and get this first down because our leaderboard is stacked against them or anything. Just knowing that there's so many like different ways that it can and be done, especially like from a kid, and like Josh, like he'll run through you, he'll run around you, he'll beat you into the edge, he'll jump over you. Who knows? But just having that confidence that Josh can spin that dial and do it in different ways, or whoever has and that ball and can do it, is just a special, and it just gives us a boost of confidence every time.
With that said, when you look back at last year in the AFC Championship game, there were a couple of situations where you went for a field goal as opposed to maybe going for it on fourth down situations where maybe you'd consider it. I recognize ultimately that's a coaching decision, but in those situations, particularly against a team that can score the way the Chiefs can, how hard are you campaigning, if at all, to stay out there and to try to pick those situations up?
I would say that is a great question, but that is above my pay grade. I honestly, I honestly just try to focus on blocking as much as I can, and that's an extremely like hard job in itself. But whatever those guys that make those calls and want to do, I'm for it. Because every game is a big game in this league, especially like when we're pushing for what we're pushing for, and whatever they do, we're for it. I mean, like it's a team thing. Whether if we think that we should be out there and going for it, or if not, I'm all for it. I just got to just do my 111.
How would you describe Tyler Bass's personality?
Confident, swaggy, just a unique kid. A unique kid. Like you wouldn't think that a kicker would have just that much umph with him. Like he just walks around just with that confidence. Like, all right, like this is 2021 and 2021 and he just has like a different type of swagger to him. Like the world is different, where like our kickers are bringing that swag like a skill cat.
So is that more of a him thing, or is this like a trend across the league?
I don't really know of too many other kickers, but I'm gonna call it a Bass thing. Bass swaggy Bass. Swaggy Bass.
How's the offensive line preparing to deal with the crowd noise in Kansas City?
Like that's a part of ball. So we have our cadences and we have just our keys that we just have to just dial into, because like we know that Arrowhead is a unique place, and we just have to be on the same page with just watching the football and just hearing what the quarterback's in cadence is. But it'll be tough, but it's just another day that we have to just put our skills to the test.
How do you handle these later games, change of routine, and have you had to develop a way to make yourself best prepared, since you've gotten more of these later games as your career's gone on?
Yeah, it's more so just adapting with your routine, because you're used to playing at 1 o'clock, where you're used to waking up at a certain time and eating like at a certain time, and like just refreshing and yourself. And with these later games, like when you don't have as many of them and then you start to pile them up, it's for myself, it's really just learning when to eat during the day, because you don't want to eat too much, and you don't like want to eat like too less where you're hungry and when game time. And I like to play like on an empty stomach, so just learning like when to take care of your body throughout a longer day that you might not be like used to.
And what about like balancing? You have extra time to rest. Do you watching games? You taking an extra nap?
Yeah.
Or are you trying to find a way to be active? What do you do?
It's more so stretching, napping, and stretching. Just getting in a rhythm of not resting too much, but just getting the body going and stretching, and then resting, and then stretching again, and then honestly resting until it's time to get on the bus.
Why do you prefer to play on an empty stomach?
Everybody's stomach isn't as strong as others. Like I have a sensitive stomach, and I'm like I don't know like what the word is. Like I think that I have a weak stomach, so I don't like to really eat. And just because like I can eat like a sandwich, and it'll feel like that I had a whole meal, and it makes me feel heavier than what I actually am. So I just try to just keep it nice and light. I like to just eat like a protein bar, some water, and maybe a Gatorade, and keep it nice and calm the whole way.